Genshin Impact is truly a one-of-a-kind game, with a truly diverse player base and a wildly divided community. While the Western media is saying like, this game is dying, this game is losing popularity, this game is losing its players and whatever and whatnot. On the Indonesian side, people are making beginner's guide for players joining for Ramadan events. Which basically means it is attracting and gaining new players. So therefore, it's not a dead game or a dying game, not anytime soon, I guess. While at the same time, a lot of people are quitting or going back to Genshin for all the unique reasons. But mostly that you see online people that are quitting the game, especially the ones in the TikTok side. Meh. They quit because of really petty behavior, general disagreement between character designs, or rage bait content aimed towards a childish audience. So in short,
di TikTok semuanya kayak kontok. Tahu nggak?
And honestly, sorry not sorry, but if say Genshin is to lose their US player base, good. Good. You know why?
Because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which as I've said is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care.
And also, this is not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure like you're some sort of Boeing 757 commercial. And even if you are, don't fly to New York. But anyway, just like my fellow Indonesian creators, this video is going to be a guide for you as well. But also, it's kind of not. Because specifically for this video, I'm going to cover more of the mental notes of playing the game, which I think is a lot more important for longevity of enjoyability. Those are not words. How can you not burn out after playing some time? How can you efficiently play this game? And most importantly, how can you actually have fun in the game? These are all good questions, so stick around to find out. Because I personally believe if you're able to apply these principles to Genshin specifically, it will most likely work to nearly any game of any genre or any entertainment. Maybe even sometimes real world scenarios. So, you curious? Well, first of all, if you watch up until this point, thank you. And greetings, my name is Brizinicio III, and welcome to the GD3MR channel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And with that being said, let us begin. First things first, if you want to be able to enjoy playing Genshin or honestly any game, first you gotta look at yourself. Who are you? Are you a middle to high schooler tired of playing overrated games like Fortnite or Roblox and now you're just craving something different? Are you perhaps a college student grinding dailies between deadlines hoping Genshin gives you that one dopamine hit to keep you sane? Are you perhaps a 9-to-5 office worker who just wants to log in and chill with some world exploration after a very long day? Or perhaps you are a Chinese, Korean, Japanese 996 worker. For those that don't know, that means 9 AM to 9 PM 6 days a week. Man, that is one way to go insane. Or perhaps you're basically unemployed. No illustration needed here because the example is right on your screen. And yeah, that's one reason why I'm making content like this, to try and get by on YouTube and make a living out of it. Shameless, I know. But don't we all want it easy? Anyway, the point here is, if you want to be able to enjoy Genshin or any game to its fullest, first be honest about how much free time you actually have, and see if it fits your life. Middle to high schoolers will usually have the most time, I would say around a safe average 6 hours or less. College students only probably have half of that time, being 4 hours or less. 9-to-5 office workers, probably even less with like 3 hours or even less. And for the unfortunate 996 workers, they probably only have 2 hours to 30 minutes, or even less. F's in the chat, boys. F's in the chat. Man, that is horrible. And as for the unemployed, well, just go outside and ask your local homeless man near your Walmart or Tesco. And if not, go ask your local man Garrett that goes yoinking animals in the Florida Everglades at 3 AM. And yes, he exists. and it looks like this.
Hey guys, I'm in the Florida Everglades and this is a rock test. See, there's a giant American crocodile right here. That could have been close. Boop. Gotta be quicker than that. That is one juicy green water snake. Look at that derpy little face. So cute. We're out here looking for that 20-foot Burmese python. But all I'm seeing tonight are swamp puppies. See? He's watching me. Ooh, what do we got here? Yoink. Finally, we got a Burmese python. He may not be the 20-footer, but it's important to remove as many of these invaders as possible. Check out this handful of Burmese pythons. They're strong, but no match for the Yoink Man.
The comments in this video are the following. Bro calls 911, 911. Bro calls 911 and asks what their emergency. Mine just casually held 4 pythons in his hand. And last but not least, if he stops posting videos, we will understand. Oh, I'm sure we will. Just like I hope you understand this depiction segment. TLDR, look at yourself, what do you do, what do you want, and see if it fits, because this is something that is unique to everybody, so take your time and reflect.
I need a diver. Diver, diver, diver.
He only left the room for a matter of moments.
I knew you was gonna do that.
And so here we are. You have found the time and opportunities to add gaming to your schedule as your leisure time. Congratulations. And would you look at that, you also have a friend or a colleague that has a similar taste and similar schedule. You know what that means? You can talk about the game, the experience you're having, and overall become more social. And that is good at all. However,
here's what you should consider.
overall gaming experiences might be relatable with major groups of people, but keep in mind that they are 100% unique experiences from one person to another. This is why it's important to consider that sometimes other people's problems and complaints sometimes don't apply to you, and even sometimes it could be wrong entirely or unrelatable in your opinion, in your situation, respectively. For example, someone might say that their experience with playing Genshin, for example, is terrible, it's laggy, it's slow and whatnot, but they're playing on a mobile device, which if anything is more of a Wuthering Waves problem. And to be fair, mobile is the large majority of Genshin's player base. But also, to be very real, let's be honest here, playing on mobile is never going to be as fun or enjoyable as it is you're playing on PC or console. It just never will be. So if you are a mobile player and you're having a bad experience with the game and whatnot, maybe try to consider that's probably not the game's fault or the developers. It may be your own device that's like giving you a bad experience because it is bad on mobile, pretty much, right? And this is why I believe that playing H-Star or Honkai Star Rail is definitely a lot more better experience on mobile than it is Genshin. Because Honkai Star Rail's gameplay is overall a turn-based RPG, which is a lot more easier to process and do for mobile games than it is for like an open world full-on game like Genshin, which is, you know, having a lot of mechanics that are intuitive, that relate to combat and this and that is usually better and a lot more enjoyable for PC and console players. What am I saying here? If you get what I mean, that's that. But here's another thing to consider.
The reality is that the amount of hardcore players that really care about the end game is not that many. But the thing is that all of those hardcore players are on the internet, and they're all giving their feedback. Like, 10 hardcore players sounds like 100 hardcore players, and 100 casual players sounds like 10 casual players. So whenever you see a lot of people that are really vocal about something, that doesn't necessarily mean they're the majority.
This is especially true for a lot of games. Although for Genshin specifically, I would like to correct it by saying that 100 casual players doesn't sound like 10. It sounds like 0.1. And the sad part is, a lot of content creators and whatnot will use their platforms to voice their opinions and complaints about the game. But some of them do not realize that what they're complaining about is sometimes not at all relatable or at all useful to the average player. And you know what? I'm gonna look at you when I say this. The biggest offender to this is the artifact loadouts feature. Yeah, I said it. This specific feature has been put on a pedestal by so many creators, echoed by so many people online, and praised and deemed as the most game-changing, must-have feature ever! Yet if you really sit back and you really think about it, this feature is practically a useless feature for the majority of players that are usually free-to-plays or low spenders that only have a handful of characters and they're saving for their favorite character instead of getting every single one. So therefore, this feature will only be appealing to, well, them and them alone. Selfish. I know. Yes. Oh yeah, and here's one more thing that you should consider. Keep in mind that most content you see online about Genshin, Zenless, or any other game on YouTube is not the way you're supposed to play the game at all. Most content on YouTube are authentic, sure, but a lot of them and most of them are just there to entertain you, not teach you how to play the game or experience the game for yourself. The biggest offenders are the following titles. Get ready. I cannot end my stream until I build game. Can you beat Genshin Impact while only using game? I spent $69 for $20,000 nice on building game. And a bonus.
I goon to Zenless Zone 0.
And I know you might be confused as to why I'm saying gaming instead of any other character in Genshin like Hu Tao, Nilo, or like Furna. Well, because it actually is a character in the game. Literally spelled gaming. I mean, you pronounce it as Jia Ming, sure, but you do what you want, right? I am mainly gaming. With gaming. Hell yeah. But jokes aside, you can definitely tell that these type of videos are those clickbaity, YouTube optimized, and pretty popular content around these games. And by all means, I'm not saying that they're bad, they're terrible, and you shouldn't watch them. No, I'm not saying that. You do what you want, right? It's just that you have to know that some people in this world actually play through these games by watching videos like this instead of actually playing the game, which is definitely a not credible way to enjoy a game to its fullest, because especially for Genshin, it's a game that's meant to be played with your own pace and your own unique point of view, not others. You one of them? So yeah, consider all that and many more before you dive into the game to enjoy it fully. In fact, I encourage you to watch all the videos out there about games that you like from all sorts of people. Go out there, learn and get to know more, but also keep it all in low and healthy doses. Because while listening to others is good, too much of it can definitely drain your sanity and mindset, perhaps give you a stroke. So be sure to prioritize the well-being of your voice first. This is to better help you understand what you're getting into, while at the same time gaining knowledge of how to handle it in a good manner. And with so, remember fellas, to consume with moderation and digest it with consideration.
Точно тут это было. Стою я вчера, в общем. Сигарету курю, никому не мешаю, и вдруг откуда ни возьмись, такая бешеная машина. Примерно вот так вот, ну та желтая была. Ну что, завтра на этом же месте.
Now, let's stop and think for a moment. So far, what I've been doing is simply talking to you and telling you about this, and this. And you might think what I'm saying so far is absolutely true, absolute facts, some crazy, some wisdom. Or bullshit, what have you. And with so, the next segment after this is going to be advices. But what right do I have to give you advices? I know I'm not that smart, and I know you don't want to be lectured as well. No one does, right? So like really, what's my experience with the game, and how can that enable me to give you advices? Well then, have a look. Year 2023, month 7, day 5, hour 15, minute 7, and second 38. Is the very first time I've accessed this game and click record. As you can see, I recorded this a long time ago, and the reason why I did it is because I thought this game could be some good content for YouTube in the future. And that's what I think back then. And trust me, back then, I was not going to be a great YouTuber at all. Now, you might be thinking like, okay, cool, but what does that have to do with you giving advice to us, the viewers? Well, because you see, I did record my first time playing the game. But here's the catch. I recorded my first time, and then every single one after that. Yeah, I can safely say I've recorded like 99% of my Genshin playthroughs since 2023, and once again, playthroughs, not logins, because, you know, sometimes I just log in to claim things in the game, and I log out, and that's about it really, and nothing really special, you know, nothing really crazy, you know? So you see, this video I showed you earlier may seem like nothing special at all, until you realize this is currently entry 516. Which still doesn't make it special at all. And just like any Genshin player in the beginning, once you know the flow, the rhythm, and what to do in the game, you start to put a lot of time into it. For example, as you can see, there's a lot of 6 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Whew, that's a lot of time wasted. Yeah, that's a lot of time. But, of course, as I play more, as I get to know more, as I plan more in the game, by the 1 to 100 range, it's already more controlled. As you can see here, it's 2 hours, 1 hour, less than 1 hour, 2 hours, 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour, 140 minutes. 4 hours here because this was a story quest in either Genshin or Zenless, I forgot. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1... How many Salalis, man? Oh, wow. Even the thumbnail of the playlist says Salali. Wow. I mean, I guess YouTube really likes Salali, I guess. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Name me one person who doesn't like Salali. That isn't terminally online. Gotcha. And of course, since I recorded this 2 years ago, basically, you can tell I've changed a lot as a person and as a personality, I guess. Here's how I sounded back in 2023.
Daily commission, Dulugus.
Did you cringe at that? Yeah, so do I. Look at the goosebumps. Now let's jump exactly a year afterwards and see if I changed at all. Today is our yeah, the Mavuika code, yeah, this, like the code is literally stand with Mavuika, just like all caps stand with Mavuika, that's the code by the way. Delete the space bars here, and just make it all capitals, that's the code. And today is Leyland Overflow. It's giddy. While I definitely sound a lot more calm and collected here, I guess, as you can see, I'm speaking like I'm some sort of big shot streamer who has a big audience. Ooh, amazing. Which you can definitely tell that I'm not. I'm not. And with so, let's jump into the entry today, or as for you, a few days ago. Hey, beautiful. How y'all doing?
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Indonesia master. We got one Japanese, one Chinese, one Korean. And I'm the Indonesian. Kombinasi that shit, man. I've seen a post about this, right? That's funny. Bye.
Boom.
Bow. Bow. There you go. And by the way, yes, I am free to play. But look at this, man. Look. Wow, free to play, yeah? I don't know about you, man, but I feel like the best target audience for gaming is the casual players that every once in a while does like hardcore like player stuff, right? Like it's proven in the market, man. Look at Minecraft, look at Fortnite, look at GTA. They're all successful titles and they're popular, right? But they aren't exactly hot. Like there aren't exactly hard games, right? I'll play hard combat for the sake of just like trying it, but playing it full time, hell no, man. That is all from me. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, love you, Shishla. Bye bye. Yeah, you can definitely tell I wanted to be a YouTuber since I was a kid. Although at this point, I'm not exactly qualified as a mentally sane one. Which if anything is probably like a good thing because it means that I am more entertaining, I guess. And it shows growth as a person, I guess. And while this happens in any game ever, specifically for Genshin, everyone that plays it has went through at least the 4 stages of She Knew I Love. We all had our moments of crying. Crash outs.
No.
Crush it.
Who's your master? Oh my god, dude, the fucking design, holy shit. The arms, oh my god. Oh my god.
So what sort of person is your master? Well, child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Creepin'.
I did not think she had that much of a bakery. I did jeans? That's crazy. Okay, no, I gotta see it now. Hold on.
And last but not least, creaming.
Huh?
Optionally.
Oh my god, I got it! Oh my god, I'm blooming! Oh my god, where is it? Boken the Boken!
Although that last one is probably a lot more prominent than you think. more or less for obvious reasons.
Ah, damn. Yeah. Man, what a game, huh?
So yeah, as you can see, we've been through at least one of these stages. But once again, keep in mind that everything you see I've showed here so far is all for content. It's not for personal enjoyment and whatnot, right? True Genshin players that make up the majority of the player base that truly enjoyed this game without any problems or major complaints, they wouldn't do this. Or maybe they do, but at least they're not actively showing it online for everyone to see. Unlike, of course,
I'm gonna bust!
So again, you see, as the wise hermit that turns 35 this year, or in fact a few days ago, once said,
the reality is that the amount of hardcore players that really care about the endgame is not that many. But the thing is that all of those hardcore players are on the internet, and they're all giving their feedback.
You can definitely tell that this is true, especially because he dropped facts towards an average bald man hater a few years prior.
Tectone says in chat, the problem is the content that gets added to Genshin isn't real content. It's walking around barren wasteland picking up resources that they try to force you to do summons on characters that you'll never get and will get power crept 2 patches later anyway. Yeah, I've been spending years doing that in WoW. That's not too big of a deal. Yeah, no, I'm going to see. I'm going to play it and I'm going to see for myself. That's right. Yeah, every MMO works that way.
And you know what I like about this? Is the fact that when Tectone says in chat, everyone is like, exactly, true, oh, so facts, bruh. But then when Asmon speaks, everyone just switches sides.
Tectone is actually talking a load of shit. Is that right?
So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, I guess. But now with all that being said, let's jump into the segment that everyone has been waiting for. Or perhaps not.
If you are ugly, you are ugly. Stop talking about inner beauty. Men do not walk around with x-rays to see your inner beauty. Who is that from? Mugabe.
Oh boy, here we go. Advice segment. What do I have in stock and what do I have to tell all of you? I'm gonna be straight up and tell you all immediately, alright? They are 3 main advices I would give to everyone that wants to enjoy Genshin or any game at all to its fullest potential. Yeah. This one might be blunt, but the first advice I'm going to give you is to avoid the Western side of the community altogether. If not, be strong and be smart about it. Yeah, I know it sounds bad and it sounds a bit of a generalization. And yes, it is. And for good reason. Sure, communities are made from the game's own existence, its fan base, and the people who are excited for it, and that is good and all. But sometimes it can also be infiltrated and misrepresented by people that are not from the community or the player base at all. This is especially prevalent in the gacha game community, especially the Genshin community, especially the Western side of it. Because man, it does seem like that every one good video about Genshin, appreciating it and acknowledging its good sides for a free-to-play game, by the way, there is about 7 more videos talking about Genshin in a fairly negative way or in a biased way. And most likely, they came from the same channel. Like, I'm not gonna drop names, right? But if, say, you are a streamer watching this, first of all, hello, how's your day? How you doing? And second of all, look at your chat. If names of a specific person start showing up, that's probably who I'm referring to. And of course, I'm not trying to say that it's bad to make negative content about Genshin and whatnot. Like, you can do that, feel free, right? It's free YouTube money, yeah? But man, it does feel like that if, say, you are doing that and say you're not playing the game, or at least not anymore, it feels a bit pathetic, honestly. Like, it does feel like a girl who's talking online about her ex-boyfriend who is doing successful in life after he dumped her 2 years prior.
The last time you texted me was in 2020.
Because I've been busy. Why you want boys? Why you being weird?
Oh no, I was just going through my shit. You said what?
I said, why you want boys? Why you being weird?
What? I'm chilling.
How are you? How you been?
Nah, I've been good. What made you call me out of nowhere?
I just wanted to call you. I can't call you now.
Nah, I'm up now.
And like, of course, there are good content creators out there, like for example, Murder of Birds, Connery the Squirrel, Brian Online, Wiz Gaming, Chiken, and Asmongold, just to name a few. Ah yes, Asmongold, the one who truly plays Genshin, and everyone else? Not in the same level. But jokes aside, even with those people in mind, it always seems like the western side of the community of Genshin is always full of negativity. Which in case, they can probably take 1 or 2 advices from this guy.
Negativity can be like an addiction. Heal it by being positive and feed your mind good and optimistic thoughts only.
Amen, brother. Amen. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I watch Instagram Reels too. But for this video, shut. So yeah, with that in mind, let's now dive into the next advice, which I know sounds pretty biased. And that is to take an example from the eastern side of the community. Oh, but of course, you have to acknowledge that they also have bad sides, right? The miHoYo knife thread, the Zhongli backlash, the Nuve nerf backlash, the Wanderer cat incident, so on and so forth. Yes, they are bad. They are, right? But outside of that, it's actually a lot more balanced and a lot more rational with critical thinking than it is in the West. For example, one problem that they don't have, but the West does, is they don't get easily offended on others' behalf, when said others' behalf isn't even offended. The biggest example for this is the situation with Yume Mizuki. And yes, that name sounds a lot like John Johnson. Basically. What happened is, when she was announced and released, people in the West were calling her terrible in design, and even sometimes offending Japanese people and its culture. Meanwhile, the Japanese people are the complete opposite and far beyond that.
Mizuki may not be very popular in the West, and her banners aren't selling very well, but she's doing quite well in Japan. They love her so much. So Genshin collaborated with an onsen in Japan, and wow, it was a huge success. Just look at this crowd lining up to bathe and buy merchandise from this collaboration. Since the onsen's website crashed due to high traffic and online orders couldn't be placed, everyone had to line up like this to make their purchases. And even though the temperature was really cold, that didn't stop them.
And of course, the region Natlan is also another example, but I just can't be asked to talk about that because that's way too long. So instead, here's a small clip that pretty much summarized the entire Genshin response to the Natlan backlash.
Somebody sent in a customer service complaint to Genshin Impact. They said, "What the fuck? What kind of response is this when a player submits feedback about racism and colorism? Embarrassing, unprofessional behavior from a company of grown-ups and supposed mature, well-read developers." So let's read it. Thank you for your feedback. Please be kindly reminded that Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. We really do hope for your understanding. Kind regards, the Genshin Impact team.
And while all of this is happening, the only complaints I see from Japanese, Korean, and Chinese players for Genshin is the lack of 5-star male characters. That's the most common thing. And even then, that kind of falls short because, believe it or not, Genshin is one of, if not the gacha game with the most male limited 5 stars, with a roster being 17 units. Wow. So honestly, we don't really need more dudes in this game. Nah, I'm kidding. It would be nice to have more of, dudes in the game, but at this point, it's if they are, cool. If there isn't, well, we're good. We good. And so with both of that in mind, let's jump into the third and final advice. And that is to not let other people define what's fun for you. This is echoed so many times within the community, it's not even funny. If you disagree with whatever I said in this video, that's fine, that's okay, because remember what I said in considerations. Keep in mind that most content you see online about Genshin, Zenless, or any other game on YouTube is not the way you're supposed to play the game at all. Most content on YouTube are authentic, sure, but a lot of them and most of them are just there to entertain you. not teach you how to play the game or experience the game for yourself. This exact principle also applies to me. I am not an exception. Remember what I said in testimony? I know I'm not that smart, and I know you don't want to be lectured as well. No one does, right? This video is simply just a reminder for all of you that if you want to be able to enjoy Genshin or any game to its fullest, just be aware that it's sometimes better for you to not know at all, or try to be knowledgeable with everything so you know a lot of things and build your opinion in a more rational and more inclusive way, right? It is way better for you to try and see the full picture or just ignore it altogether. Going in between is overall a bad idea, especially if you make it your final stance. And so, to put it simply, if you just want to be a whaler and spin for your favorite characters and that's it, that's fine. If you want to be a full-on free-to-play and you prefer grinding your way to happiness, that's cool as well. There is no right way to play Genshin or any other game ever. You decide for yourself what is fun, what do you want, and what you want to do. Which in any case, once again, the player base majority for Genshin specifically is not who you think it is. It's not the massive spenders and whalers like you would think it is, right? And it's definitely not those people that are terminally online that are farming the drama for a bit of clickbait and attention. I truly believe that the true majority of Genshin players, I would say a good 70%, is like a 30% free to play and 70% low to healthy spenders. I think you know what a free-to-play is, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. But what is a low to healthy spender? A low spender is like spending $5 for a walk-in for 1 month, and then $10 or was it $15 for like a battle pass every single new patch. And that's about it. That's pretty much what a low spender is. They just rinse and repeat that, keeping their spendings low. While a healthy spender is pretty much the same thing, but every once in a while they drop in like $50, $100, $20, $50 again, and so on and so forth, right? Which honestly, if you ask me, is a lot more worth it than spending your money on overpriced things like Valorant skins and CS gacha, which is even worse. Or perhaps you hate yourself or you hate money in general, so you decided to just buy games from gamer enemy number 1. That's right, you guessed it, you know it, I know it. AAA companies, especially Western ones. Look at their recent releases. And you know what? Let's not even call them AAA companies anymore. Let's call them companies that are part of the AAA. The AAA, the Absolute Ass Association. Which is, by the way, ironic, considering that a lot of the characters that come from these games are characters that have no ass. Like, these companies be putting together the most assorted systems and pipelines to guarantee failure, only to have games like Schedule 1, Inzoi, Black Myth Wukong, and Coffee Talk came out and take a fat dookie on their face. Ironic, iconic, and even in some cases, majestic, just like the song that is coming in right now. You hear that? Have a listen. And thus, here we are. In case you skipped to this point just for the conclusion, first of all, default settings please. Thank you. How do you actually have fun in Genshin, Zenless Zone Zero, or any game at all in 2025 onward? In Depiction, look at yourself. Do you have the opportunity to even play games in the first place? Do you have the time? And does it fit your lifestyle? Find the answer to that first. In considerations, once you have the answers, look at what you have, and look at the information surrounding the game you want to play, and consider all the information and aspects as you're making your own unique experience. It is always safe to say that informed decisions have a lower chance to be regrettable. In testimony, obviously that segment was my personal experience, but this can apply to you as well. As in, what do you enjoy in the past? What defines fun for you in your own terms and conditions? And in the recent years, what has grown on you? And don't say pubic hair. Once you see see the answer, congratulations, you have found what you like and what you want. In advices, to simply put the 3 advices together, look at the community, be informed about every single side of it, and find out what's good and bad, and then feel free to indulge in it knowing your choices and thoughts. And if not, ignoring it altogether is also a good and valid option. Sometimes the reason why people play games in the first place is to avoid listening to people, their worldview, and their opinions. Something that affiliates ignore entirely. And last but not least, this segment, in conclusion, all of these segments work together to help you understand what you like, what you want, and how you have fun with it. And that's it, you're good to go. But before you do that, can you please tell me in the comments down below what do you think of this video? Was it entertaining? Was it insightful? Did it help you in any way, shape, or form? Did it open your third eye? Did it make your third leg stand up? But most importantly, was watching this video fun? Let me know in the comments down below. I guess me? Wouldn't it be an irony if this video was how to have fun and the video wasn't fun to watch at all? That's the essence of gold standards of YouTube these days, right? Make your content fun, authentic, engaging, insightful, and if not, put it in the bin and try again. So let me know in the comments down below if I did a great job at that, because I felt like this video is just kind of all over the place, just like your average Discord call with the boys until 3 a.m. Like, you know how the first hour in you be talking about like girls, memes, games, and some other bullshit, right? And then 2 hours in, you're gaming with your boys. Raw, deep, and unprotected. 3 to 4 hours in, it's now about entrepreneurship, businesses, conspiracies, and the likes.
Iraq. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
And 6+ hours in, you're now talking about prophets and messiahs. And the best part? You rinse and repeat that for 4 days. Actually, you know what? I don't know if that's relatable, because that might be like an Indonesian thing, but you tell me. And thus, that is all. And I truly hope this was worth your time. Thank you so much for watching, keep respect, and God bless. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And I will greet you all in the next one. So long.